I'm here to talk to you about the importance of a secure browser in your workplace. And Google is, renowned for, innovation in the browser space, and I'm here to talk to you about Chrome in particular. Lots of interesting statistics recently about endpoint security, whether that's the growth of mobile devices and computers in the workforce or IoT that was talked about earlier today. The difficulty of managing these in the workplace is just getting worse. In a recent study, 60% of IT administrators found that managing these endpoints was getting harder as new devices are coming online. And there's a cost associated with them as well. So if you just take a look at ransomware, the cost is growing at a very rapid rate on the enterprises. In a recent survey, even just in 2016, last year, companies spent over $1 billion on ransomware. And according to a Google survey, they're really not after consumer accounts. 6 times more likely to be attacked by phishing attacks if you're a professional worker, and malware is even just as bad. And this is based on our own research, where if you're a worker using an email inbox, you're more likely to be an attack than a consumer worker. And Chrome is really at the middle point of this problem, where security wants to take away, lock down environments and take away productivity, and users are demanding more devices, more access, more productivity. And we believe that there's a balance here. And Chrome and Chrome OS devices are a good solution for this collaborative balance. Chrome launched almost a decade ago, and it launched with 3 key principles. Speed, simplicity, and security were the tenets, and we've grown exponentially over the last few years. We have over 1 billion users that are active on Chrome devices around the world. We've seen an explosive growth in Chrome usage in enterprise workspaces, whether that's a browser or a Chrome OS device, or Chrome for meetings, or even the new streaming protocols as well. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a behind-the-scenes look at all the security features and how we think about security in Chrome devices. And it's really built for the enterprise. We built Chrome to solve a lot of our own needs in securing our own workforce. So we're going to talk about kind of each of these points in the next couple of minutes. So when Google first started work on the Chrome OS devices, we really were faced with a really broken paradigm. They were really hard to manage. They were really hard to update. They were really hard to detect malware on these devices. And we have a fairly large workforce in our environment. And we really invested heavily in Chrome OS devices just to secure ourselves. And this is very good for both enterprise companies and local state federal agencies as well. And it really starts with hardware all the way through shutdown. From the hardware perspective, Google's really focused on a secure supply chain, hardware-backed kind of keys that I'll talk about as well to ensure that you can trust the user's identity and also the device that they're running. We invested heavily in verified booting of these devices as well. One of the biggest problems with malware is, one, detecting this problem, but 2, giving the user instant ability to regain their environment. And with Chrome OS devices, We do a lot of malware detection during boot time, and we have a verified boot cycle. And in the event we actually detect something, we roll back to the previous version of Chrome OS or instruct the user to go download the newest version of Chrome OS. And this happens all at the user device level without administrators having to step in. Each user's profile on a Chrome OS device is encrypted. So this means that there's separation of encryption keys for the devices, and these are backed by a TPM module on each hardware device. And Chrome has seen quite a lot of interesting use cases, not just for a single user using a Chrome OS device, but kiosks and shared Chrome devices in retail, where you actually have multiple people using the same device. And our encryption by default, helps allow for these different use cases. We have hardware-backed verified access. So when Chrome OS devices is used in your network environment, you can use the actual hardware encryption technology to verify access to your network. A few years ago, Google started on a 6-year journey to a zero trust environment. We got rid of our corporate VPNs and our exterior network security, and we adopted a zero trust model. And one of the key principles of zero trust in our environment is trusting the user's identity and trusting the actual device and the health of the device and making sure that that device is issued by Google. Verified access is one of those key pieces to that, making sure that you can issue a device as a corporate administrator and making sure that that device is trusted. Whether that's a file store or a network access point, for example. Chrome OS and Chrome browser have had a long history of keeping users secure in the cloud and making sure that their data is secure as well. So, those that are familiar with Chrome know that we have isolation and sandboxing techniques in Chrome. These are also available in Chrome OS. There's separation from every process, every tab, every plugin that exists in Chrome as well. And the application tier is separate from the actual system tier as well. So this allows us to fail gracefully and protect different applications from maliciously targeting each other. We've invested heavily in the safe browsing API. So we have a good amount of effort to try to proactively stop a user from clicking on a malicious link. The safe browsing API is built into Chrome. It's built into Gmail. It's an API that enterprise customers can use as well. We have a team that is looking at threat intelligence around the world, and we're trying to stop a user from actually clicking a link. The statistics on how fast we can actually roll out preventative steps is pretty staggering. And you may see this on your Android phone, where you get a red banner that says, please don't click this link, we know it's malicious. And if you accidentally do click it, then we tried to stop you. Or in Gmail, where we actually prevent you from downloading an attachment. So we're scanning something like 50 million Android apps a day. We're scanning every attachment in Gmail. We're using URL reputation in Chrome to detect if the website that you're going to is actually malicious. Chrome also has automatic updates. Of course, this can be managed by administrators, but for consumers and for enterprise workers, we push out updates to Chrome and Chrome OS devices automatically in a secure way. Keeping Chrome devices up to date is one of the key security principles. And we really started from a very proactive approach in Chrome where we actually control the update cycle for these devices and the Chrome browser on desktop machines. User profiles are separate, and they're encrypted separately as well. So a very common approach for a workforce employee is to have their consumer environment separate from their enterprise environment. And Google Chrome allows for that to happen, allows for there to be separation of profiles and sessions and synchronization of their consumer life from their enterprise life, and keeping the corporate entities safe. Google is very invested in making sure that Chrome and Chrome OS devices are easy to manage from an enterprise perspective. We offer lots of different tools that enterprises can use, whether that's over 200 configurations that you can deploy with Chrome OS and Chrome browsers, or a fully managed solution where we will help you manage the devices and Chrome policies for you. This includes typical things that you would see in a mobile device management platform, where you can actually remote wipe these, or lock them, or set policies, or control the operating system update cycle. And over the last couple of years, it's not just us looking at Chrome and talking about the security of Chrome behind the scenes. Lots of security researchers have also contributed to the Chrome security and also attested to its secure design. And one of the most recent ones was Accuvent, and they listed this as the most secured against attack. All the things that we're doing to protect users proactively and reactively from an attack is kind of unique in the browser space. It's not just Google. Lots of customers are also using Chrome. The State Department is deploying Chrome browsers for its users. Wyoming Department of Transportation is also deploying Chrome for its users as well. And each of them find kind of different reasons for why they want to use Chrome, whether that's it's easy on the actual user, it's safe, and it allows for productivity, or protects against malware with the Safe Browsing API. Georgia Department of Community Supervision. You can see Chrome is very popular with workforces that are out on the road all the time or connected to the internet, not in the office quite often. Chrome and Chrome OS devices are a good solution for a mobile workforce that kind of has to balance the work and life environment. So there are several new enterprise white papers that talk about security of Chrome. If you have questions, chrome.com/enterprise is your place to go. Thank you for the time, and enjoy the rest of CyberTalks.